Shay be getting jokes. Saul and Shay be getting jokes. Saul and Shay be getting.
Hello and welcome to Shay and Saul Get Jokes, the pilot episode.
This is the pilot episode. I'm going to move this here, I feel like. Yeah, so what's the show about?
The show is about how we came to know about pop cultural things.
And not the things themselves.
Not the things themselves.
I don't care about that.
I care about it a little bit, so I guess we'll do a little bit of that.
You care about it a little bit, but not enough for even yourself, let alone the both of us.
I mean, I'd say I care about it enough for like an 8-year-old.
But I thought an 8-year-old is supposed to have like
more care for stuff.
Yeah, it's they have like all the care.
Okay, maybe like a sad 8-year-old.
I know an 80-year-old, I would think.
No, I'm gonna go with sad 8-year-old.
A sad 8-year-old.
Yeah, like an 8-year-old who didn't get a bit of birthday cake.
This sounds like an 8-year-old that doesn't get a bit of birthday cake and is sad about it. Sounds like Lisa Simpson.
That does sound like Lisa Simpson.
Ergo, segue to what we wanted to talk about in our first episode.
The Simpsons.
Which is funny because, well, I think The Simpsons was...
It's funny for lots of reasons.
It was the show that had more than one joke in each episode.
Yeah.
That's not true. See, this is why we don't go into detail, because...
That was kind of their USP back in the day. There was a lot of jokes.
The USP?
Yeah.
What's USP?
Unique selling point.
It's just, that's the whole thing. I consider myself a 90s kid, but this 21st century makes me think you said USB. So
no, I said USP.
And that's why we're doing this podcast.
To differentiate between P and B.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, that's the point, exactly. But,
talk about PB and J a little bit.
The thing about The Simpsons, why I thought it was a good idea to have the first episode, because why I want to do this podcast with you, is because I'm always really interested to know how people know things. You know, just how do you know something? Because I think it determines what it means to you and how you know it. And also, this is recorded in Dublin, Ireland. We're both from there. I don't know if it sounds like we're from there.
Probably doesn't.
You probably sound... No, you sound like you're from there.
You sound a little bit there.
See, I say there like we're not there right now.
I noticed when you were talking to your brother as well, you sound quite like... you both sound very American. But that's because you're discussing kind of American topics. And it's just sort of trickle down. When you're watching, like, you know... when you're a kid, like we were when we first discovered The Simpsons, you tend to imitate, even subconsciously.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like when if I go into descriptions, I just imitate what an interview sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's... And the thing is, a huge part of having an American accent and growing up in Dublin, which is a horrible, horrible thing, is because of The Simpsons, which is not a horrible, horrible thing. But and most of what I know about America, which would be quite a bit, not a huge amount, but quite a bit, is through The Simpsons. I have been to America, yes. I spent 2 weeks inside of America.
Inside of America? On top and inside?
It was like where suddenly you're on the inside and you have to work your way out. And you have to do it in less than 3 weeks.
Like a Rubik's Cube?
It's like a Bear Grylls kind of Rubik's Cube.
Okay, cool.
I think I was in the future.
All right.
That's what's going to happen. It would be patronizing if I pointed out where I started lying in that last little spiel there. So,
who cares?
But what would you, like, what for you, like, it would be the best parts of The Simpsons? It's really hard to pick ones, but it's always something you go into a Simpsons off with your friends nowadays. It's very, very culturally significant.
Yeah.
Even if it sucks now.
I always enjoyed the episode where Marge is in a play, and then Bart is like, cool, she can fly.
And what is it a play of?
Oh, it's A Streetcar Named Desire.
Which I know about because of The Simpsons.
Exactly. So,
I can tell you the main character of Streetcar Named Desire because of The Simpsons.
Stanley.
I've never even seen it. And Blanche.
Oh yeah, Blanche Dubois.
Blanche Dubois.
But I like the bit where Bart goes, cool, she can fly. And then Lisa goes, I think it's supposed to stimulate her descent into madness. Yeah. And I thought that was really... I remember finding that really funny when I was younger.
That's definitely... that's that one, and then finding out later... Oh yeah, and again, like... The bit where there's the daycare center.
Yeah. And
it's filled... Maggie has her own little story where she frees all... Like, it's like The Great Escape.
Yeah.
Which then I know about because of that. You know what I mean? Cause
you know the music from that.
You hear the music, and my dad would tell me, that's from The Great Escape. I still haven't seen The Great Escape.
Yeah.
And then what's the other movie? Do you know what the other movie is? Homer walks in.
Yeah, it's The Birds.
And who walks past when they go out?
Alfred Hitchcock.
And again, I know about Hitchcock cameras. I've only seen a few Hitchcock movies, and I'm a film graduate, and I know more about film because of The Simpsons. And I will not say what that's a comment on.
Can I tell my birds joke? And it's not really related.
Go to your bird. Go to your.
My joke about the birds.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock left some money in his will for CERN in Geneva to build a large hadron collider. Because the actress's name is Tippi Hedren.
Ah, shit. I'm a film graduate. No, okay.
But it's okay because it's a podcast, so we don't have to wait for the laugh.
That's true. We can add one in later.
Yeah, exactly.
Or act like it was there the whole time, which it was.
The Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah. So so this is our first episode, but we still
the pilot.
The pilot. Yeah. Well, pilot implies that. Yeah, the pilot. I'm sorry. And we got people to write in on the Facebook page. We only got a few people who wrote in, but it was cool just to get people to write about The Simpsons.
In fairness, it was short notice.
It was very short notice. It was what was originally 2 days that turned into 3 days.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 days minimum you're supposed to. I don't know. This whole podcast thing, I don't.
Podcast, I'm not sure, but I know with Facebook events, you're meant to give 2 weeks notice.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah. But that's as if we're having an event.
That's fetiquette, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't have very good fetiquette, I have to admit. Or netiquette. No, it's netiquette or anything else, but fetiquette is very...
Fetiquette, that sounds kind of like fetish. I don't want to go down that. We don't want to go down that route.
We have to now that you brought it up, though.
Of course.
We have to live up to the...
We'll
just talk.
I've got to get away from this dildo. What was it? Is that what it was?
Okay, yeah,
we were talking about... This is going to happen.
Now I have to explain that to make myself sound better. It's a line from the movie, the Jeremy Piven movie, The Goods, which is got a Will Ferrell cameo, and he has the best line in the whole film, and that is, I've got to get away from this dildo.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, but I have to explain it, because you said, what was that you were saying yesterday? I got to get away from this dildo? Why did you say that? I have to explain it. No, it's from a movie.
I know, but listen, like, this kind of is going to happen. This is a podcast. We're going to ramble. I mean, we've got to fill up another... We said we'd do half an hour. Imagine we've got to flip another, like, we can't do it. Longer. I don't think we can talk about The Simpsons straight for 24 minutes.
No, we'll try. I did it straight for 8 years.
Yeah, but
primary school.
It's different. It's different when you're recording.
It is different when you're recording. That's true.
And when you're aware you're being recorded as well.
Yes, I get you. So, Jason, born in 1988, which I asked people to write in what year they were born in, because I think it's very important. Because I think 88, we're both 88 as well.
Yeah, we're both 88.
And I don't remember The Simpsons when it first started. Don't remember it. It came out in 89, so how could I?
Exactly.
Do you remember? You're going to tell me
no.
You remember, don't you? Well, I don't think Jason would either. But he writes a quote. He says, first you get the sugar, then you get the power, then you get the women. And he said, Homer doing his Tony Montana protecting his sugar pile from the bees, the rain, and the British has it's all a bit condensed here, but yeah. But he says, and he's talking about how the show declined, but he thought, seasons 4 to 10 were absolute gold. And I'm wondering, apparently is that the general consensus, that it's 4 to 10 where it was really good? Because early on it was, very dated. And
I'd say 2 to 10.
It could be 2 to I think the definitely dated parts are season 1.
Because one of my favorite episodes is in season 2.
Which one's that?
Simpson and Delilah. I know they don't go by their names when you remember them, so I'll describe the plot. It's when Mr. Burns gets a new... Homer becomes Burns' assistant.
You know something? I'm looking it up. Season 2. Homer becomes Burns' assistant. Is that season 2?
Yeah, with Harvey Firestein. That's Carl.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the one where he replaces Smithers, which is obviously way later.
Yeah.
Because I remember that being a new episode. Yeah, actually, season 4 to 6 is probably at its best. I think 2 is still good, but 4 is like the first episode's Camp Krusty.
That's a great episode.
Yeah, Gentlemen to Evil and all that. But I'm a good thing, because obviously, we didn't do a lot of research for this, but I didn't do a lot of research for this. Okay, fine. You didn't need to. I should have done it. I'm not going to...
Well, you're worried about this a bit more than I am. I'm glad you laughed, and you didn't take that badly.
But here we are, season 2, episode 8, Bart the Daredevil. Now, how can we not, how can you... It's actually, I'm sorry, Jason, 1988, age 23, but absolute gold. One of the best Simpsons moments ever is in that episode. And what moment is that? You know the one?
Oh,
Springfield Gorge.
Springfield Gorge, yeah.
Homer, who is it's still really disgusting, or it's still really shocking today. Just Homer gets bludgeoned and bloodied and beaten and falls down a cliff and then gets pulled up on a stretcher and falls down again. And I think there are episodes of South Park today that would be standard for them now.
Yeah.
And South Park's way ahead of, in terms of shocking people.
Yeah.
It's way ahead of The Simpsons ever was. Not to say South Park is better, it's just way ahead of shocking people. And that's still really, really shocking episode to watch. The Bart the Daredevil.
He makes it quite far across before he falls.
Yeah, I know, but I still always think of that the whole, I'm going to make it. And he starts jumping on the board, and you're like, oh, like...
Yeah. Even cartoon physics, you're like, that shouldn't work.
Yeah, and I guess, if anyone who doesn't remember should explain, was it Bart sees a Daredevil who gets, every bone...
He sees Evel Knievel.
Is it, or it's the show's equivalent of Evel Knievel, isn't it?
I think it's meant to be Evel Knievel.
I'll see if I can find out about that, but he gets every bone broken in his body, and Bart's like, that's the coolest thing ever, and starts getting into it and getting a lot of popularity around Springfield. And it has that kind of Charlie Brown sensibility it doesn't have anymore, where just naturally kids will gravitate towards him and be like, whoa, Bart, that's amazing. And they're all like these nameless characters that have now all become individual cult phenomenons, which is very annoying. And all have...
Like Lewis.
Lewis and... Yeah, I know.
Lewis is the only one really I can think of. As
soon as everyone knew what Wendell's name was, that used to be like privileged information to know what Wendell's name was. Now everyone knows, so it's like, okay, it's over. But it's
they're really the only two extras along with.
I don't think it was Evel Knievel, because Evel Knievel it's meant to be set in the 90s, and he was a 70s.
It'll say there in the cast.
It doesn't say, because it's like 8 people all doing the voices in the first... Oh, wait. Captain Lance Murdoch.
Oh, of course.
Captain Lance... And I just remember him writing a signature with his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's quite a detailed letter, like, always follow your... And do they look at it? It's all scribbled? I don't know. It's...
I think it's actually fine. They look at it and it's perfect.
If you want to be really elitist, or like in terms of it... how it really sells for everyone. I guess maybe 4 to 10 is a safe margin, but you can go outside of that.
But it doesn't tell you what season it is when you show it, so I don't know. What was the last episode of season 10? What
I definitely agree with, I'll check in a second, because this may be what Jason was talking about here, because he says, let's see, but after it was pretty bleak, I think I really fell out of favor of the show around the 300th episode, when the show shifted directions from storytelling to pop culture satire. Now, I don't know. It was always... Well, no, actually, it wasn't always pop culture satire. You wouldn't always call it that. But yeah, I definitely agree with the 300th episode thing. I remember very distinctly seeing, God, this episode is terrible. The 300th episode. Like, suddenly it was bad. That's the Tony Hawk one.
Yeah, and Blink-182.
And I know you're torn because of
my love for the Tony Hawk video games and Blink-182.
Yeah, which they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
And then...
They're pop punk favorites of yesteryear.
Let's see, season 10, first episode of season 10, Laura the Dance. Lisa organizes a dance at her school while Homer and Bart try to start their own grease business. That is a great episode.
That's an amazing episode.
That's a fantastic... Okay,
My God, you're greasy.
No, hang on a second. Maybe it's season 11. That would where it starts. Beyond Blunderdome, when Mel Gibson becomes convinced that Homer is the only man with the guts to tell him the truth. That's a good one, too.
I like
Okay, and I know Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah.
Because of that episode. I've never even seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and I can tell you a tiny bit about it.
It's Jimmy Stewart, isn't it?
No, season 11 looks pretty good, actually, because Behind the Laughter, that was...
Behind the Laughter was very good.
That was very good, but it was starting to go a bit far.
That's kind of how I know Huckleberry Hound as well. Like, I kind of heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like next up on Huckleberry Hound. I was so gay and I couldn't tell anybody.
I guess this is where it's really dipping. I'm looking at I'm on IMDb at the moment. This isn't some sort of advanced research. It's good, though.
This isn't Skynet.
No, because I tried to go on Skynet and
I forgot my password.
It realized what I was doing and it told me to f*** off of its own accord.
But we're going to curse in this podcast?
I'll bleep it out.
Are we like...
I actually didn't... I was trying to think of that, but you said dildo earlier.
Sorry, I did.
No,
there's a difference, because kids might not know what that is, but kids definitely shouldn't hear the F word. How many fans do we have?
How many fans do we have? We have... Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. We have... I can't check. I'm going to go with...
14:30.
That'll be on the recording.
That's going to be on the recording. Well, yeah, no, I know, yeah. We have... It says, technically you can say 10, but one of them is you.
Okay.
But you're an administrator. 9. We got 9 fans.
That's alright, which means we got
9 fans.
We got 9 fans.
I'm just looking at season 12. We got Insane Clown Posse. After he learns he has a daughter, Sophie, Krusty turns to Homer for parenting advice. That's an okay episode. It's not terrible.
I haven't seen that one.
Have you not seen that one?
No.
Who is it who plays the? This is right in this. Yeah, again, this is a good landmark or flagpole or whatever. That let's see who plays the daughter. The daughter is played by Drew Barrymore. So that gives you some kind of idea of Drew Barrymore is. It gives you it gives you a place and time. No disrespect to Drew Barrymore.
You know what I like? I like that episode with Lisa Kudrow.
the Lisa Kudrow episode. Yeah, that's probably somewhere here, on IMDb. Yes, of course. Now I wanted to read another. I want to say not another, but the other letter. Chris from Bray, 1986. So he's more keyed in. He's born a year after Back to the Future happened. 1 year.
You always bring that up.
It's really important.
Okay.
We can talk about this. It's going to come up again later.
Obviously.
Yeah, but you saw it. When was it? It was only 6 months ago.
Must have been something.
6 months ago.
In this very house.
Saul saw in this very house, not in this room though, but in this very house. Sorry, I don't know why I said the room thing. I just have to put something in there.
It's okay.
It's Saul for the first time. Saw Back to the Future, having never seen it before, but understanding it was really important. Obviously not really understanding how important it is based on that why do you always bring it up thing. But yeah, it's such an important film.
We should get this clear, I think, from the first episode, is that I'm bad at classic movies.
Oh yeah,
I've seen one. I wrote this on a website. Like it was one of the headlines was the most private thing I'm willing to admit.
Yeah.
And I said I've seen one movie from The Godfather, Back to the Future, and Jurassic Park trilogies.
You've only seen one of these. Oh yeah. Well, I've only seen one of the Godfather films. I've never seen the other two. I didn't even like The Godfather all that much. It was good. I mean, I wasn't crazy about it. I still haven't seen Apocalypse Now.
The Good Father.
The Good Father.
I saw Apocalypse Now in the cinema.
That's what I said. I was like, I saw The Godfather. It was The Godfather. It wasn't The Great Father. You know, how dare you laugh at that? That means you're too nice.
I'm a really nice person.
So, Chris from Bray.
Sorry,
1986.
We got distracted. Sorry, Chris.
A year after Back to the Future, but since time travel got invented in 1985, it doesn't really matter what you're born. I always remember being pretty young and actually this is really good. I remember always being pretty young and having a really awkward moment watching the episode "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," where Homer discovers he has a half brother, Herb, which he doesn't mention. Chris doesn't mention this, but it's worth mentioning. Is voiced by who?
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, and swearing was pretty much banned in my house. And my mum was in the room as Bart realizes he can use the word bastard to describe Herb and proceeds to say it several times over. I nearly wasn't allowed to watch it again after that. That's an interesting thing. I know a lot of people who weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Really?
Yeah. Now, if I wasn't...
I didn't really encounter that, but...
If I grew up in a house that didn't let me watch The Simpsons, I would not be the person you're talking to right now. That's just fact.
I can agree with that as fact. Probably the same with me.
Yeah, but then again, I'm not saying it's a good thing.
No, it's definitely a good thing.
Really? Okay.
If I'm not a parent, but I think that I'm of the school of parenting that would suggest that you should let children be subjected to most things.
Let your children run wild and free. For, as the saying goes, let your children run wild and free. That's from the Australia episode.
Of Simpsons?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a high five.
We're doing pretty well. We're on 17 minutes.
17. I think we're probably going to go over half hour. We planned originally to be half hour long, so we didn't say at the start, oh, it's a half hour podcast, because we thought we might go over. We could easily go over.
Yeah, I mean, like, people are going to listen to as much as they want to listen to.
I forget that time still moves when you're not thinking about it. Time flies when you're having
fun.
Yes.
As the saying goes.
I wanted to say something about...
Was that all that Chris said?
Before we jumped off, that is all that Chris said. It was good though. That was good.
Yeah, that's a good insight.
But no, I was going to say you were going to say I think it's good to let me watch TV and stuff. But I was thinking if I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons, I might have been cool in primary school.
I don't mean you, but I mean like.
For me personally, I might have been cool in primary school if
I wasn't cool in primary school.
Then again, I had Star Wars as well. It's actually 20th Century Fox just screwed up.
Can I tell a little story about primary school?
Go for it.
One day, everyone brought in Pokemon trading cards.
Yeah.
And there was there was almost a bloodbath at break time. They were banned the very next day.
Fair enough. I hated Pokemon trading cards.
Really?
And I love Pokemon.
I love Pokemon too. Can we do an episode on Pokemon?
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, that's a given.
Okay. Awesome.
That's a given. And yeah. So
original number 1 to number 151.
Oh, Kanto. No, it's strictly Kanto.
Strictly Kanto.
Strictly Kanto. Because I mean no.
We can put your song at the end of it.
We could talk about Johto or one of the other islands, but I don't know anything about them. I barely know anything about Johto. I'm not even sure if it's called Johto, but I just know.
I think it's called Johto.
Is it called Johto? Okay, well, all we know is Kanto, so that's all we can do.
I want to play Black for curiosity.
You want to play Black? Black was good. No,
yeah.
I played Black. I don't remember any of the names of the Pokemon because I gave them all names, like after Firefly and Buffy characters, because that's what I've passed the age where I can actually accept any more things.
Yeah.
But which is why I own nothing more advanced than a PlayStation 2. Outside of maybe my phone, I think is probably the only thing.
Yeah, you've got.
I have a nice phone. Well, I didn't want to say that because then I'd be a guy who says that. I'm going to bleep that out. I'm actually going to bleep that out.
Don't.
Wait, actually, that's a word now. We can't. Just for fun, we can't say that now on the podcast.
Okay.
I'm going to bleep it out every time. Okay, so jumping off The Simpsons, and I had a really good segue, but I lost it. Oh, yeah, no. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself. And so do the DeLoreans. Which was, we had Back to the Future 2 on VHS. And I just remember that. It was on BBC. That's how important that film is. It was on BBC.
You taped it off BBC?
We taped it off BBC, and at the beginning he says, and now tonight on BBC, time flies when you're enjoying yourself, and so do DeLoreans. And...
so that wasn't just a...
No, it's, yeah, it was a clever... No, but
That's a continuity announcer. I'd like that job. You have to like... Be watching TV live and say things about TV as it goes on.
I don't think you have to do it live, but do you?
No, you do it live because you have to be like, you have to say if there's things run longer than expected or if things if live things run long. It's a real job.
Do you know who? I don't know if he's still doing it. Chris from Skins is the guy on Sky One. I'm positive that's him.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Chris, who was one of the more interesting guys on that show. Maybe we'll do Skins another.
Yes,
but then again, I don't know. Adam and Joe kind of covered it really well. So we're going to play a game now called Saul's Not Seen. We're hoping to do this every episode. It's based around what we mentioned earlier, where there's a lot of things, like all of us, there's a lot of things that Saul has just missed out on. You know, things he might call, you'd unfairly call rite of passages.
Rights on passage.
Right, just, see, now mine is grammar.
Yes.
But, I mean, we all have them. It's just Saul has some of the more popular ones. He's keyed into some much more interesting things that no one knows about. Like, you listen to bands that don't even
exist.
Exactly. So, but he only recently saw Back to the Future 1, and I don't know, you have only recently seen Back, I don't know how to present, but you still haven't seen Back to the Future 2. Now, this is important, the whole thing of flying DeLoreans. Now, if you've only seen Back to the Future 1, you might note that the DeLorean never flies, except for the very end.
Yeah.
And, that's good, because so you remember the very ending then. Because it's important, we're going to do a recap of the very ending.
Back in time.
Yeah, well, that's like the reggae version.
Yeah.
Back in time. Yeah, so the movie ends, we all know that everything goes back to normal. Actually, not even back to normal, but better. It's like one of the great catharses of the 3-act structure. I did not just say that.
Catharses.
Damn it. Yeah, again, there we go. Grammar, my Achilles bitch.
It's a chloroform deploying portable enhancement snare. Oh, dang. Sorry, that was a reference to my favorite movie, Mystery Men, which I'll probably constantly reference from this moment forward.
We should probably, because it is also like a landmark culturally. Like we were all a certain age.
Nobody's seen it though.
I've seen it.
We could talk about Mystery Men for hours.
Well, yeah, because it's got Michael Bay and Kel. And that just takes you in two different directions. Yeah,
one black, one white.
Oh God. Anyway, so anyway, the ending Back to the Future.
This is gonna be great.
It's already great. Marty comes back and he's all like, he sees Jennifer. He's like, "You're a sight for sore eyes," and he goes to kiss her, and then the Doc comes in wearing this freaky clothes. And he's got a new thing on the time machine. He goes, "You got to come back to me." He goes, "Back where? Back to the future. We have to fix your kids. Your kids, there's something wrong with them. We need to help them out." So, and then they're about to drive off, and he says, and it's historical now. What he says is, he goes, "You need to back up. We don't have enough road to heat 88 miles per hour." And he goes, "Roads where we're going, we don't need roads," which is something that Reagan said because of that film. And they fly, and then the DeLorean flies off.
I heard a song.
Yeah.
By a band called Junior Battles.
Yeah.
It's a good song, and it's like a pop punk song, but the song is called Roads. Where we're going, we definitely need roads.
You told me about that, didn't you?
Yeah.
That is brilliant. But anyway, the second film continues straight for that moment. In fact, they re-show that whole bit. In fact, they don't just re-show it; they actually had to refilm it because they recast the part of the girlfriend.
So she did a Batman Begins on it.
Yeah, she did for whatever reason she wasn't in the second. I think it was actually found personal reasons.
Okay.
Unlike Crispin Glover, which is a whole other story.
Yeah.
Which is a great one, and we should cover that sometime, because it's very interesting. Why he wasn't in it, but you wouldn't know it, because they, anyway, the bottom line, he sued them for whatever they did. We'll find out in another episode. This is like Lost, where we just kind of leave things, though people can just look it up anyway, or probably already know. Like Lost.
All 9 of those people.
Yeah. So the first game we're playing in Saul's Not Seen, that we finally, after 5 minutes, got to. That's my fault.
It's fine. We're having fun here.
Me too.
This is about having fun, and I think we're having fun.
It's good to know that you're having fun before you even get to play a game.
Yeah.
And this is a controlled indoor project.
No balls.
It's like it's a Monica.
18 letters, 18
Monica.
pages back, front and back.
Exactly. I can't remember. As Chandler describes Monica Geller, it's like she's very good at organized, supervised indoor projects or something. That's what this is right now. So what I want, I'm going to give you three different plots.
Choice.
Yeah,
okay.
And it's three. You have to tell me which one is Back to the Future 2 about. Do you know what it's about at all?
Yeah, no
oh shit, because I didn't check if you knew what it's about or not. But yeah, you have to.
We'll have fun.
Okay, so, what order did I read these in to mislead you? Because the whole thing is I win if you don't get it, because I've written these to try and make you think.
And what's the prize?
Because you get to win.
Oh, cool. Can I have more apple juice?
You're gonna get some anyway. You
okay.
want some more? Just say juice. It's funnier.
I want my juice box.
Damn it, we're discussing. We've broken character. Shit. Okay.
We've broken the fourth wall.
We've broken the fourth wall on our podcast of all things.
That was my scream when I said we've broken the fourth wall. I did a bit of a scream.
Oh my god. We're good. Okay. Here's the first one. Now you listen to them all first before you say which one you think is it.
Okay.
First one. Marty and the Doc travel to 2015, where cars fly and holographic sharks emerge from ads, to prevent Marty's kids from becoming dealers of a futuristic synthetic drug known as Nuke. However, Marty must avoid all contact with his future self, who mysteriously has no memory of the Doc or his time travel adventures. That's number one. The second one is, attempting to travel to 2015, the DeLorean malfunctions because, as it turns out, the time machine cannot travel to the same year twice, because we both know that Doc's already been there. Due to this unfortunate incident, Marty, the Doc, and Jennifer are erased from existence and observe their lives without their being there for their friends and loved ones. Allah, It's a Wonderful Life. Does that make sense? Because it's not very well written, so I didn't phrase it very well.
Who's Allah?
Allah, we'll get to that later.
Sorry.
It's okay. As they witness Hill Valley as ghosts, the Doc discovers a certain upcoming event might align the parallel dimensions with their own original timeline, allowing them to return home. And then the third one is, after a quick visit to the year 2015, where cars fly and holographic sharks emerge from ads, Marty and the Doc must return to 1955, when a 21st century handbook that archives all sports events of the 20th century falls into the hands of 1955's teenage Biff, who in 1985 is now a wealthy tyrant. Now, do you want me to reread any of those or re-summarize any of them, just to lay them out for you? Did you follow any of them?
I think it's the third one.
You think it's the third one?
Yeah.
Now, why do you think it's the third one?
Because
do you want to, let's go over what you thought of all three of them. The first one is synthetic drugs, and they go to the future, where
I don't think that's suitable for kids.
You don't think that's suitable for kids, even though it's an 80s movie?
Are you trying?
I told you I'm going to try and mislead you.
Okay, I think it's the third one.
You think it's the third one? So, and then why didn't you? What about the second one? What was the second one?
Second one, I didn't think it would make sense if they lived outside. Would you say they lived outside of time or something?
Where they become like ghosts, where they don't exist and no one can see them.
Okay, I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's
no, I
okay?
I think it's the third one.
You think it's, and what makes you think it's the third one outside of the process of elimination?
Because there's Biff is in it.
Because Biff was in it.
Because Biff was mentioned.
Saul, you are correct. That is what the third one is about. And I think
the second one and the third.
I kind of also tried to pronounce it to sound too ridiculous. I think I gave
the second one and the third one. It's Back to the Future 2 or Back to the Future 3?
This is Back to the Future 2.
Okay, but you said the third.
Should I tell you what Back to the Future 3 is about, or should we?
We'll leave it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Actually, you know what? The way Back to the Future 2 ends, to let you know what Back to the Future 3 is about, is so cool that you should probably just watch Back to the Future 2 to find out. I don't even want to tell you.
Okay, cool.
So now we're going to play. We have another round. This is even longer. I put too much work into this.
Why don't we do this next time? Because we're kind of approaching.
Next time? Oh man, but I did all the. Do you want to? Should we wrap it up soon then?
Just because I don't know.
Because that took more time actually. Yeah.
I don't know if people are going to want to listen to us talk for more than half an hour.
I know, at 5 minutes and they walk away usually in real life.
Exactly.
So, this is turning into like a therapist podcast. The audience is my therapist, and it's just a very sad blog then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what, you really are right, though. We should wrap it up. So we're going to bankroll this little, really, not really long, but much longer thing that I set up that we're going to have for next week. Which all the more reason I won't even say what it is. but I have it. You can hear it here, which is going to be great.
That was paper, by the way.
That's great because there was something else we wanted to prepare for that we didn't get for this episode, so we'll have it for next episode.
Yeah, sure.
But starting with The Simpsons Back to the Future was fantastic. So that has been the first episode of
Shay and Saul Get Jokes.
Saul and Shay Get Jokes.
Who cares?
We fought over whose name was going to get it first, and then Saul got it, and now he's taunting me by saying,
I mean, I'm human, prone to making mistakes.
That's true. That's your thing. That's your thing on the show, is that it's like I'm a geek and you're a human prone to making mistakes.
And do you want to introduce the song?
Do I want to introduce the song? Well, first of all, I just want to say we need to say that at the moment we're probably going to put this on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to say where we're probably going to put it when you hear that it's already been put there. But also, at the moment, we don't have an email address, but if you want to write into us for whatever reason, we will announce what next episodes are about that we can write into us. And it's facebook.com/SASGJ. Saul and Shay Get Jokes. SASGJ. So check out whatever we write and whatever we're going to be doing in the next episode. And we're really, really interested. We actually, I'm not just someone who says that, we're very interested in having you write in.
Are you going to introduce the song?
I'm going to introduce the song. So the song we're going to play now, to play us out, what does that mean?
It means that...
Yeah, no, but I don't know. There's no words there. What does that mean, to play us out?
Oh, it means that it's the ending
Whatever,
song.
like, anyway. This is Into the Ether by Stu Daly. Who's Stu Daly?
Stu Daly is the singer of Chewing on Tinfoil and recently recorded a 2-song demo with Kieran Parnell, and this is one of the songs from that demo.
The great thing is also that they're local.
They're local. Stu's local.
So we're going to play us out. This is the end of the first episode of Saul and Shay Get Jokes. We talked about The Simpsons and Back to the Future 2. This is Into the Ether by Stu Daly, and next week we will be talking about Will Smith.
Bring it.
It's either that or face my pride. Throw me into the ether with no direction home. Throw me into the ether, 'cause I've nowhere left to roam. And please, please, no one has to be told. We'll just let's see what unfolds. I know, 'cause there's nowhere to go. I know, 'cause there's nowhere to go. I know, 'cause there's nowhere to go. So throw me into